Gold was discovered on the west coast of New Zealand's South Island in the 1860s. Fortune seekers flocked from around the globe, seeking alluvial gold, tiny grains and nuggets washed down rivers and creeks. But in the hills around Reefton, there was another form of gold, trapped in the solid rock and buried deep underground in rich veins. Its discovery in 1870 made the district the centre of a gold mining boom. Companies were quickly formed and mines opened. Tunnels and shafts drove deep into the rugged hills to reach reefs of gold-bearing quartz ore. Far below the surface, miners attacked the rock with picks and explosives, while above ground, stamper batteries crushed the quartz to release the precious metal. As gold fever grew, so did the town of Reefton. A hydroelectric plant was built. Broadway, Reefton's main street, was lit by electric lights, and the future looked bright. Shares in mining companies were bought and sold amid wild speculation. But many of the small mining companies soon collapsed. A number of the small mines were amalgamated under the name Consolidated Goldfields of New Zealand. New mining equipment was introduced in the 1890s. Rock drills, air compressors, and an aerial tramway to carry the ore. At Consolidated's Progress mine, a giant battery of 65 stamps was built. By the early 1900s, Cornish Town was a thriving township of 300 people, supporting the busy Globe Progress underground mine. 11 levels reaching down over 600 metres were used to mine the narrow quartz reefs. As the richest gold-bearing rock was mined out, the cost of recovery became uneconomic. The mine closed in 1926 after producing over 400,000 ounces of gold. While other mines in the area would continue until the middle of the 20th century, the era of underground gold mining at Globe Progress was over. The modern Globe Progress mine opened in 2006, with ore processing underway in 2007. This open-pit gold mine, 7 kilometres southeast of Reefton, incorporated 4 older mines: Globe Progress, General Gordon, Empress and Souvenir. In the open pit, rock was drilled and blasted to retrieve gold-bearing ore. Trucks, each loaded with over 90 tonnes of rock by an excavator fitted with a 10 cubic metre bucket, hauled gold-bearing ore to the processing plant. The mining fleet moved over 1 million tonnes of rock each month. The first step of the process at the plant was a modern high-tech version of the old stamper battery. Here the ore was crushed and ground to a fine dust and mixed with water to form a slurry. The addition of chemicals and further treatment produced a gold-bearing concentrate, which was then railed over 600 kilometres through the Southern Alps and then south to Palmerston. From here, it was trucked to OceanaGold's Macraes operation for final processing. Bars of gold from the new Globe Progress were typically 93 to 94% pure gold. During each year of its operation, OceanaGold's mine produced around 70 to 80,000 ounces of gold. Just over 610,000 ounces of gold was mined from the open pit operation between 2007 and 2016. 90 years after it first stopped producing gold, Globe Progress closed again, but this time the mine site would take on a new life. OceanaGold's Globe Progress mine near Reefton is the first modern large-scale gold mine in the South Island to move into closure. After mining ended, the operation became known as the Reefton Restoration Project. Restoration work was an integral part of operations throughout the working life of the mine. After mining stopped, the Reefton Restoration Project began. The aim of the restoration project is to leave the site in a safe and sustainable condition. Excess rock generated by mining was stacked on site and contoured to the shape of natural landforms before being planted with native species. The rock stacks blend into the landscape. Their shape and cover mirror the surrounding topography, vegetation, and animal life. Tree stumps and logs were placed on the contoured rock stacks to reduce erosion. This woody material also encourages birds such as kaka, robin, tui, bellbird and tomtit to perch, which helps disperse the seeds of a range of native plant species. Plants selected as initial ground cover were chosen for their ability to encourage the arrival of other native plant and animal species found in the mature West Coast forest. The small souvenir pit was filled, capped and planted with beach species and manuka. The Fossica's tailings impoundment was partially capped, contoured and planted. It will remain as a shallow lake, which has proved attractive to waterfowl and gulls. Throughout the restoration project, contractors planted approximately 1 million seedlings across an area of over 160 hectares. The trees which have been planted will encourage the development of a natural forest. Ecosystems of indigenous species have been established across the site, populated by a variety of beach species and complemented by native conifers, including rimu and miro. The project was a multidisciplinary effort, with the OceanaGold team working closely with the Department of Conservation, the West Coast Regional Council and the Buller District Council. The once busy gold mine is again becoming part of its surroundings, providing a home to local wildlife and increasing biodiversity opportunities. After 2 lives as a productive gold mine, Globe Progress now has a new life, creating green from gold.